The Land Buyer's Guide, Beginner Chickens for Homesteaders. So you've got some land, or you're thinking about getting some land and now you're wondering what's next. Well, raising chickens might just be the perfect first step into homesteading. Hey, I'm Scott Thomas, and this is the Land Buyer's Guide. We talk about rural land, self-sufficiency, and how to build the homestead life you actually want. Today, we're diving into chickens, one of the most rewarding projects you can tackle when you're settling into your new property. Now, here's the thing about chickens. They're incredibly forgiving animals. You don't need years of farming experience to make it work. They adapt to different climates. They don't need tons of space. And honestly, they give back way more than you put in. Fresh eggs, pest control, and, this might sound weird, but genuine companionship. These birds have personalities. You'll find yourself just sitting there watching them scratch around, and it's genuinely entertaining. The practical side is huge too. Unlike bigger livestock, chickens fit perfectly on small to medium homesteads. They work well alongside other animals, and you'll start seeing returns pretty quickly through eggs. And if that's your goal, meat as well. So let's talk breeds, because not all chickens are created equal. It really depends on what you're after. If you want eggs, lots of them, Leghorns are your workhorse. They're independent, they produce like crazy. Rhode Island Reds are solid all-around birds. They're hardy, reliable, and they'll lay consistently. Wyandottes are great if you're in a colder climate. They handle winter really well and keep producing when other breeds slow down. And Sussex chickens, they're curious, personable, and steady layers. You'll actually enjoy being around them. Now, if meat production is what you're after, Cornish birds grow fast and efficient. Brahmas are these big, gentle giants that surprise people with how broody they get. And Orpingtons, they're calm, they grow steadily, and they just have nice temperaments. Cold climate. Look at Wyandottes, buff Orpingtons, or Cochins. They handle freezing and snow way better than lighter breeds. If you're down south dealing with heat, Leghorns and Sussex do better in that environment. Setting up the physical space is where a lot of people get a little anxious, but it's not complicated. You need to protect your birds from predators. That's the main thing. Inside the coop, aim for about 3 to 4 square feet per bird. In an outdoor run, go for 8 to 10. That gives them room to move around without stress. Your coop setup needs nesting boxes. Figure 1 box for every 2 or 3 hens. Roosting bars elevated about 2 to 3 feet off the ground where they sleep at night. Good ventilation so moisture and ammonia don't build up. And here's something people skip over: proper drainage. Muddy, waterlogged coops create disease. You want water moving away from the setup. Predators are real. Use hardware cloth instead of regular chicken wire. It actually resists determined raccoons and other wildlife. Bury your fencing at least a foot deep or bend it outward. Keep those coop doors locked at night, no exceptions. Motion-activated lights can help deter nighttime visitors. And be mindful about spilled feed. That's like ringing a dinner bell for predators. If you can give your birds access to pasture or vegetated run, do it. They forage naturally. It reduces what you're spending on feed. And honestly, the eggs taste better. Chickens on pasture versus chickens in a static run, there's a real difference. Some people even use mobile coops and rotate them around the property, which is a smart approach. Water is non-negotiable. Chickens can survive weeks without food, but only days without water. Provide appropriate feed for their age and purpose: starter, grower, or layer feed. Use elevated feeders to minimize waste and keep pests away. In winter, you might need to supplement more because insects and forage disappear. Change that water daily. And honestly, kitchen scraps and garden waste are great supplements. A lot of homesteaders set up a compost system near the coop, recycle food scraps straight to the birds, and it cuts costs. Health-wise, here's what matters: keep the coop clean and dry. That prevents most parasites and disease right there. Check your birds regularly for mites, lice, and anything that looks off. If one gets sick, isolate it immediately so it doesn't spread to the whole flock. Dust baths with diatomaceous earth are a natural way to manage parasites. and give them perches and enrichment so they're not stressed out and developing weird behaviors. Seasons change things up. Winter's tough. Make sure there's insulation, consider supplemental heat if it gets really cold, and keep water from freezing. Summer needs good airflow and shade to prevent heat stress. Spring and fall are your maintenance windows where you can address issues and plan ahead. Here's my advice if you're just starting out. Begin small. 3 to 6 hens for a family homestead is perfect, enough to establish routines without getting overwhelmed. If you want eggs faster, buy point-of-lay pullets, young hens that are nearly ready to lay, instead of chicks. Build or get your coop set up before you bring birds home. That matters. Connect with local homesteading groups or online communities. There's so much experience out there, and people are generally happy to share it. And keep notes. Track your daily observations, feeding costs, what you're getting. It helps you understand what's working and what isn't. Beyond eggs and pest control, your chickens contribute to the whole ecosystem. Their manure goes into compost, they eat insects and weeds, and they remind you every single day that you're building something real. That sense of connection to your land, that's huge. Raising chickens as a beginner homesteader is absolutely achievable. Start with a solid plan, invest in good infrastructure, and lean on your community. Your breakfast table is going to thank you. If you're thinking about buying rural land to make this dream happen, head over to landparker.com. We've got discounted properties with affordable owner financing, sometimes as low as $100 down and $100 a month. Check out what's available in your area and let's get you started on your homesteading journey.